All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are other mediums to which you can enjoy this content. But my favorite way, and the way that I recommend, is the blog, which if you're watching, that's what we're looking at now, this old ugly blog. But the address of the blog is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, and that's too long to type in or remember. So, wherever you are watching or listening to this, look for a more intro, description, open, something like that button. If you click on that, another box opens with a link directly to the blog, which is free. You don't have to put any information in. You just click the link and boom, you're there, right? All right. Rumble. Oh, I didn't do Rumble. Okay, rumble.com, my FX buddies. You see what I have to deal with? I'm going to have to pause. Hold on. All right. I love Telegram, but I hate Telegram. All right. Spotify.com has audio and video. And let's see, where else? RSS.com. That's the one that I got interrupted on. That one has a transcript. A pretty good one. Much better than YouTube's. And hey, YouTube! Everything I share is covered under the Fair Use Disclaimer Act. All right, let's see. That's it. We'll just get started. It's 2 minutes in. This will be a shorter one because there wasn't a lot. Well, there's a lot of news, right? A lot of stuff that maybe indirectly has to do with the RV, but it's going to start to get more political, right? Matter of fact, let me show you this, if this is the right one. We will return as an alliance after the epic. The framework decides to run multiple lists in the 2025 elections. So right there, that tells you how dirty they are, right? They're going to split up, run under multiple alliances. Then if one of them wins, they'll all come back together. All right. And then over here, Sudani's meeting with, who is that? Amiri, who is part of the framework. He is, but they have split off. So see, Sudani needs to be careful because would you trust him? He's Iranian backed. He's been a part of the framework. But all of a sudden, like the last 2 or 3 months, he's like, oh no, I'm going to follow you. I like what you're doing and I'm going to follow you. So I don't know. But so that's the stuff that's going to be in the news more and more. Today was a lot of condolences for the Pope and more factory openings, more. Sudani actually went to the city of Daiquar, I think is how you say that. And there were 3 things there that he was opening. So, just lots of growth and makes people wonder, well, how are they doing this? Where are they getting the money from? Who knows? But they're doing it, and they're doing it at 1310, at least officially, publicly, right? Okay, so now let's get into this. It is Monday, April 21st. For now, what is the importance of American companies visiting Iraq? And what do you think is the number one thing that it says here? The Federation of Iraqi Chambers of Commerce affirmed on Monday that the visit of American companies is a message to the world that Iraq is a safe environment. It also explained that the visit resulted in an agreement on a regulatory framework for the private sector. So, regulations, regulatory, interesting. All right, they also said the visit of American companies to Iraq to invest and work with Iraqi businessmen is a positive and important step for Iraq. Iraq is a fertile environment, and the visit of American companies to Iraq is a positive message to all countries of the world that Iraq is a safe environment. So they said it again. Yeah. So it's not very long. The last sentence says he pointed out that a number of American companies have signed agreements with the private sector, most notably the global company Google, which is seeking to enter Iraq. Its representative came and wrote a positive message about Iraq, stating that Iraq is safe, which is an important message to the world. So they're like, look, Google likes us. Google thinks we're safe. Come on down, right? Is Google an American company? I guess it is, huh? All right. So here, yet again, another article about their foreign exchange reserves are fine. And yet again, it's Mohammed Saleh coming out, confirming that Iraq's foreign exchange reserves cover 100% of the national currency. So it's all good. Some people, so I guess there's a post somewhere going around where someone broke up this article and also put in some of their own thoughts. So it got some people excited. I'm like, he's been saying that for a year. Nothing, nothing new. Matter of fact, they said it was 100+%. They were able to cover their the hard currency, and then I just saw purchasing power. Where did it go? Where did it go? Here we go. So here, he pointed out that the development of the optimal external use of foreign currency is achieved through a careful balance between the role of these reserves in maintaining the foreign purchasing power of the dinar and the stability of the exchange rate. So I like that, right? We like to hear that. But yeah, come on with it. All right, here again is another article, different twists, right? Federation of Chambers of Commerce visit of American companies resulted in a regulatory work agreement for the private sector. So different things grab different people's eyes, but I thought there was one sentence in here. I didn't. No. The most important signing. No. Oh, here. Just they signed in fields of electric power and renewable energy. And I think that's funny because they're practically giving away solar power um, units, I guess, and the people still don't want them. But anyway, all right. So this was oh no, okay. Here again, Rashid Bank offers national bonds with two interest rates and different terms. But they can't offer bonds at 1310. Well, here they go. So the last time it was Rafidian Bank, right? Now this is Rashid Bank. They announced today. The first category has been set at 500,000 dinars with an annual interest rate of 8%, paid in two installments at a rate of 4% every 6 months for a period of 2 years. So see? All right. Oh, look at that. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, that's right, because I copied it. Okay, so I have to go back and delete this one. So we'll skip that because it's a double. And here's another article about the bonds. Third issuance. This one here's the second one. Investment bond worth 1 million dinars with 10% return, 4 years, and the interest pays every 6 months. The bank called on people to seize this lucrative investment opportunity by heading to the nearest bank branch. Come on down. Submit a purchase request and benefit from the advantages of this issue and bring those 30 notes you got in your house, right? Yeah. All right. Now here's a different one. I liked this image. So, and there's nothing new here. I just like that image. So I might delete this one. This might be the thumbnail image though. All right. Here, this was a little cause of confusion. Someone had put out that the Ramadan Bank the Ramadan Bank had suspended use of their Visa and MasterCards out of country and in country. And they said, no, no, no. Not only that, the CBI put out some new, clarification. They issued clarification regarding the use of bank cards abroad. But before I read that, look, it's split up. I try to do the middle. I try to put my one commercial in the middle so I know where I am for the videos. Buy me a coffee. Thank you. And this is a QR code, and that's a link for when this is no longer a preview. All right. All right. So they issued today regarding the use of debit or credit cards outside of Iraq, while clarifying the monthly limit for travel or medical treatment purposes. So, okay, this is the document. Let's see. I really didn't see anything new. Yeah, see, 50,000. But let's see. So the document, of course, is in Arabic, and it's not blurry, but I was still able to translate it. Let's see. They got to have their personal documents, a retirement ID, and a retirement number. The necessary procedures must be combined to add a technical definition linking the card to the person's status. So if someone is a retiree, that card will get a different status. But not only that, they still have status in, well, who am I kidding? We have it too, but it's not openly talked about here. But if someone is going somewhere and they have a American Express Centurion card and I come in with my little gold card, that's status, right? Yeah, so anyway, um let's see. So this is for the merchants. But yeah, see, there's 50,000. It says the medical treatment outside Iraq is raised to 50,000 US dollars, but I could have sworn that's what it was last time. Now this one, because the last time it was only one page, wasn't it? And remember I said it says one of three. So where are the other ones? So maybe that's what this is. They're putting the second one out for people to see. And it's still dealing with retirees. 5,000, say ATMs, point of sale. Yeah. Now this is interesting. Card not present. Transactions executed remotely via the internet, meaning you don't need a card. So, second, the category of retirees. Now, this says, look, it says $100,000, but then it says 10,000 US dollars. So I think that's 100,000 dinars, right? Or its equivalent. So I don't really see anything new, but I'm not over in Iraq. I don't pay that much attention to those things. Okay, I like this article. I was almost going to make this article the title article. An expert identifies the missing link to diversifying sources of income and achieving economic reform. And it's Safwan Kwase, and he has been on TV for about 2 weeks. They just keep showing snippets of, and I think I mentioned, I'm waiting for an article to come out. I still don't know that this is it, because this free talk is a 30-minute show that comes on. And what I was watching was not a 30-minute show. But anyway, so yeah, he identified the missing link to the path to diversifying sources of income and achieving economic reform in Iraq. He noted that controlling corruption, there it is, that's still the number one thing, begins with the banking sector and is linked to understanding revenue risks and the behavior of the Iraqi dinar at border crossings. So they're taking the dinar out of the country. I like that. Well, I like they're talking about it, right? But they're still limited. So during his appearance, he explained economic diversification cannot be achieved without regulating these outlets. So here's more talk of regulation, which is what makes the investors feel safe, right? And the citizens feel safe. Regulations. Look, we over here, we're trying to get rid of regulations. They want regulations. But anyway, so yeah. So the regulations are tools for protecting local protection and developing investment. He indicated that reforming the financial sector requires rehabilitating banks through mergers, partnerships, and specialization. But we know they're in the middle of doing that already, right? Some of them are already complete, right? So, but look what he says. These goals are still far off, and the real beginning lies in developing the human resources working in the banking sector. And we know they've been training, right? Especially since most Iraqi banks focus their grants on the housing sector. Yeah, because they need houses. I think they're under 1 million people in camps. So that's good. They're trying to get all of the people out of camps and into homes or housing, probably. But anyway, so he also explained the central bank's policy is geared towards supporting financial inclusion, as 40% of individuals use electronic banks, a matter linked to suspicions of money laundering. He called for providing incentives to credit card holders and motivating them through tax exemptions and import facilitation, which would enhance the conversion of the dinar into hard currency through the central bank. So, waiving taxes. They like that, right? Right, he pointed out the central bank alone cannot reform the Iraqi economy in light of the lack of control over border crossings and the citizens' lack of trust in banks, emphasizing that investing in technology is costly but necessary and yields tangible benefits for shops and businesses. Then he talks about this. Iraq has 100 billion in the US Federal Reserve, emphasizing the need to eliminate intermediaries and build a direct relationship between producers and consumers, warning that corruption is greater than the support available at the outlet. So see, this is a good article. Yeah, they want their money. They want to not have a third party, which they have third and fourth parties in their transactions, right? But it's coming. It's coming. So then there's a little bit more, but you're probably already dozing off. So I'll skip. Korean company. Oh, why is this here? Um, hmm. I don't know why I have this here. This was not meant for this. I didn't mean to put this here. But since it's here, you can read it. I'll just leave it there. Korean company expands into America with investment in new steel plant. And where is it going to be? Louisiana. I'm telling you guys, there's so many jobs opening in Louisiana and Texas. All right. Yes, if you're young or a young family and wherever you live, there's no work or you notice things are shutting down, Now, this won't be open until like 2029, but that's what, three and a half years. There's young people that are going to need jobs. All right. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. I believe everything happens for a reason. Anyway, but it was not my intention to include that article there. All right. So here's the last article. Digital currency and the dollar. And this guy, the picture's not here. And look, his name is down here. Now, why does that happen? How come there's no picture and his name is in the middle of the article? It's me. It's me. I know. But anyway, he's done an article with that title before. So I thought, well, is this the same? But no, because of the tariffs. And the dollar's down, right? And there's one other thing. Well, uncertainty, but they're seeing that foreign investors are pulling their money out of the stock market, U.S. bonds. No, because the T-bills are still good, so they say, right? And one other thing. So, if you don't look at global finances, you don't see that. And this is in Iraq's news, right? So yeah, um, so yeah, he is touching on some things I don't want to talk about, but this is a good article to read, especially because you really should want to see things from different views. Like there's some people who think, oh, BRICS is gonna fail, and I mean people, intelligent people who've been analyzing international finances for decades, right? And then there's some who are like, yep. And every time something happens, like, the dollar being down right now, see, BRICS is going to come in. And this is actually M-Bridge. This is Project M-Bridge. M with bridge behind it. But, that's what happens when AI tries to translate Arabic into English. So, but you know what they did to that, right? The BIS, which really you should just take the I out, right? But the Bank of International Settlements at the last minute told the BRICS, oh no, we can't use this. This is a threat to the dollar. So they spent all these years developing this system. I think they even had some payments go through the system. And then when they were ready to go full on, okay, let it rip, the BIS pulls out. So who's really the dirty one, right? I mean, no, I hope BRICS fails. I don't want them to be successful, but that, wrong is wrong. All right. Anyway, yeah, so you should want to read that. Just to get an understanding from a different point of view, right? We have our view here in lovely America, and then people out of America in their lovely places have their views. All right, so that's it. It was a quiet day, like I said. I don't think the Pope passing had anything to do with it, but it's, and they're very symbolic in their things that they do. And they've been running on the TV the last visit, I think maybe a couple of different visits, but the last visit that the Pope made to Iraq, they're showing the pictures. And then I guess he was out yesterday in the Pope mobile. They're showing that. So yeah, they're it took a lot of the news cycle. That's what I'm trying to say. The Pope's passing, and then all they're giving their condolences, even in Kurdistan. It was on their TV, and they talked about it too. So let's see what tomorrow brings this week, right? Who knows what's going to happen this week? So as always, thank you for listening, and accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals, and even share a meal. There's some people who Eat a lot less than others. I'll just say that. All right, and pay all your bills. And what else? Wherever, if there's a like, share, join, follow, subscribe. That's the one I always forget, right? Subscribe. Okay, if any of those buttons are wherever you are enjoying this content, go ahead and click that because I don't post regularly. And if you activate those functions and if all things work as they're intended to, when I update, you will be notified. All right. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are tuned in. And until next time.